Well, hello everybody. It is me, Benjamin Crudwig, for another episode of But Make It Fashion. Thank you all for hanging out with me this Friday afternoon. I kind of can't believe that it's already Friday. It feels like it's been one of those weeks where it just zoomed by. So yeah, today is a special episode of But Make It Fashion. It is the second episode of D&D But Make It Fashion. And of course, the reason that I am doing this is because Friday evenings at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, my buddies over at the Adventurers Pack have their show, The Gauntlet. And The Gauntlet is a wonderful show that a group of adventurers goes through the construct of the Gauntlet and fights a bunch of monsters from the Monster Manual, A to Z. Technically, it's A to Z and also by challenge rating, so it's by challenge rating first, and then it's alphabetical within that challenge rating. So I thought I had the crazy idea of what if I would do fashion inspired by the Dungeons & Dragons monsters. And so that's what I've been doing. Last week we did the Naga Guardian, and I think that one turned out very, very well. And then this week we're going to be doing the Xorn, X-O-R-N. Hello people, welcome, welcome, welcome. Momming Like Molly and Fire Garnet Snake, it's good to see you both here. Today I am going to do something a little bit different. I am trying an experiment with my setup. So things are going to change a little bit throughout the episode, but basically it's just a big experiment for me to figure out what's going on with my frame rates. So my little nephew, his initials are OAK, says, "That's cray cray, Bobo." So that is adorable. He's about to turn 3, and it sounds like he's watching, so I'm excited. Hi buddy. That totally threw me off. That's okay. So yeah, I'm just trying to experiment with the frame rate of my videos here, because I'm thinking, even though my internet is better, I think it might have something to do with my video card on my computer, that it can't handle my webcam and my iPad at the same time. So we're gonna try a few different things today. And hello, Mom. Welcome, welcome. It's hot and colorful Colorado. It is a hot and less colorful Los Angeles right now. It's colorful if you go out and look at all the flowers, but in general, it's not as colorful as Colorado, I think. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and move into, is that, yep, there we are. So this is the setup that we've got today. And, uh-oh. See, this is where it's gonna be a little bit of a pain in the butt. It probably didn't like the fact that I wasn't paying attention to it. Come on. Technology has not been on my side this week, apparently. Hello? 101 there in Colorado? That is insane. So, one moment, my screen sharing is not working. Let me see if I can get that figured out. Stop mirroring. Come on. Sorry about this delay, everybody. But my iPad was connected, and then it wanted to stop connecting, so... Supposedly, it should be working, but it is not. I'm so sorry. Well, how is everyone doing this Friday? Let's talk. Let's just chat for a little bit as I'm trying to work on this. Besides it being hot where we all are. Hello, Adventurers Pack. Okay, so here we are. If this keeps happening, I might have to cut this one short, but so this is what we're doing today. We have the Xorn. This is a monster that is apparently found in the elemental plane of Earth, and it's pretty intense looking. We've got 3 arms, 3 legs. On each arm, it has 3 fingers or claws, and on each leg, it has 3 toes, plus what kind of look like a heel spike. That's what it kind of looks like to me. And apparently, they're a lot like a mole, so they dig around and such. I am pretty excited about this one. I've been thinking about it. Uh-oh, you had a heck of a wake-up call this morning. Not the best way to start the day. Do you care to share what's going on over there? You okay? Oh yeah, there's definitely a delay and a connection problem. Ah! Okay. I think I'm having a network problem here, guys. So I'm going to connect to my old internet real quick. Actually, we're gonna get this to work. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Oh. That does not sound like fun. I'm sorry, guys. Ugh, no fun. Anyways, it looks like I was able to get that connected again. It seems like I'm just having some connectivity issues between my tablet here and my computer. So yes, today we are working on the Xorn, which is this lovely ishy monster thing, and we're gonna make some menswear out of it because I haven't done any menswear on the stream. So today we are going to do that. And I've already done a croquis for this. I just found some images online and did my sketching ahead of time because I'm not sure how Twitch feels about like nearly naked people, and I'd rather not test it, especially on YouTube as well, once these go over on YouTube. All right, so first thing that I'm going to do is move that down to that layer, and then I am going to bring the opacity down on this top layer. And what I wanted to do with this particular sketch is I want to do some streetwear, and I'm thinking of doing kind of like a puffy jacket on top and some kind of like baggy jeans or something down below, almost like a motocross jean even. I'm not sure. We'll see what we get to. But what I can do now is start going. And for the jacket, I am going to have it somewhat open and bring it down kind of near the belly button, at least, as far as where it's gonna zip up to. And because it's a baggy coat, I'm gonna bring it down here. So I'm just trying to block in the shape here. Okay, it looks like my connectivity is so much better now. I don't know what was going on there. A lot of fun. Okay. All right, so up here at the shoulders, because it's going to be more of a puffy jacket, we're extending just past the shoulder. Put a cuff there. And maybe what we can do... No, this is fine. We're good. Yeah, so in the fashion industry, we call this positive ease. When you're expanding a garment to a few inches outside of your body measurements. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. And I'm thinking I might have accidentally gotten rid of one of the brushes that Oh, that's okay. I know how to make brushes now, so I can fix anything. Hello, Emmy. Welcome, welcome. Fire Garnet, you've been trying to play Subnautica. Oh, dang. That would make it very difficult to play Subnautica. Oops. I'm gonna have him wearing a V-neck underneath that. And so what I did just now is I didn't like how it was opening, how the jacket itself was opening, so I just extended it in from where the collar is, and I like that a lot better. Okay. Wrong. Wrong brush. Instead of wrong layer. And of course, I bet the delay is really intense right now, so I'm getting jokes like way after everybody else gets a joke. Okay, so as far as the pants go, we're gonna, have them extend A little baggy. They're definitely not going to be skinny jeans. And I'm going to sneak his hands in a pocket on this one side, like just his fingers will go into the pocket a little bit. It looks like it's still a little jerky, so this is a good question about maybe my other internet was better for this kind of stuff. I don't know. Super fun and fantastic. Absolutely loving it. Not. So I'm kind of giving them Converse here. Or something kind of similar. I don't know. I think the pants on this side need to come down a little bit more. And on this side as well. This really is jerky, isn't it? At least it is in my preview. Okay. So here's how I'm going to plan this out. Is if you look at the exterior of the Xorn, it has this very like rocky looking texture, very irregular stone-like stuff. So what I'm going to work on the puffy jacket at least is to add some, basically they look like puffy patches on the jacket itself. And then the pants I'm going to keep relatively simple, you know, pretty straightforward. I don't want to do like a jumpsuit, essentially. I don't want the whole thing to be textured. I don't think that would look as nice. What I'm going to do is to bring the eye into this. I am going to do that in like the shirt area, so have a little bit of fun there. And then for the teeth, that part I might actually put like along the edges of the pants or something, to create a really interesting pattern on the pant. As far as the claws down here, I'm gonna just color the shoes that tone. So I think what I want to do first is actually pull a color palette together. I'm gonna make, let's see, let's get closer. Okay. And I think we'll be able to have some fun with the shading and the highlights on this because of all of the fun shapes and textures. So it kind of looks like I've picked most of the colors of the body. I'm also going to come in down here for the shoes. Here's my highlight. Great. Cool, cool, cool. And that is totally fine. I know that you have people working on the basement right now, Mom, so take your time with whatever you need to go do. Don't worry about it. We'll be here. Also, any of you who are backers of my Kickstarter, I'm going to be able to order supplies next week. So I'm pulling together the final bits of information that I need from other backers who haven't gotten back to me. But yeah, I'm getting close. I'm getting close. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do, however, is pointed boots. Hell no, I don't want pointed boots. Just no. Okay, so now is gonna be kind of the fun part here. So I'm gonna make that smaller. So I'm on a new layer, where I'm going to make all of these rocky textures. And this technique would actually be very easy to accomplish sewing. It would not be something that could be done in mass production, However, you could certainly do this on your own. Like, I could do this. You'd just use, like, quilting techniques. And I am extending some of them past the line of the body because it'll add to that three-dimensionality. And right now I know it kind of looks like giraffe spots. But we'll get this to look nothing like that in a little bit. Also, it might not be your internet that's slow, Mom. It's all good. It totally might be me today. Okay. So, let's see. Pants, pants, pants. I know I'm adding a whole bunch of layers right now, but that's just the way it's gotta be. Apparently these pant legs are going to be sisters, not twins. Okay, so right now I'm going to hide the bottom layer for a second. Because I need to close up all of these gaps before I do any of the coloring in. All right, nice. Okay, so I'm going to start dropping color in specific areas. First, I'm going to use my main level of clothing as my reference layer. Gonna move down, and for the pants, I am going to use kind of like this bright red, but I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. Yeah, apparently. Yeah, that's what I thought. Before I do that, I just need to touch up there we go. And then just a little bit darker for the pockets. Wrong layer! Oh, first wrong layer of the stream, everybody! You're getting major 90s vibes. It could be the geometry and all the different shapes. Okay, so the next layer that I'm going to pop color onto is actually still this layer. And it's time to put this like earthy tone on the jacket. And then let's actually grab the same tone here for the cuff. Actually, no. Let's do this one for the cuff. I'm going to actually add a new layer for the shirt. Okay. And while I'm on this layer, the clothing layer, I'm going to move down to the shoes. And we'll make them red with this kind of strange tone for the sole, the heel. That is definitely a record on how long it took me to get to a wrong layer. Does that mean I'm getting better? Is that what that means? Okay, so now I'm going to change my reference layer to like the tooth layer. And then I'm going to use the layer underneath that for the color. And that was the tooth color. Put this layer back on. There we go. It was getting a little spooky. Oh, hey, Shady Scott. The monster is the Xorn this time. Xorn, and I will, oops. Why is that showing up there but not here? Oh, nah. It's just this being silly. Okay, a Borgle Gorgle. That's why I love you, Mom. Okay, so I'm going to use this darker color. We're going to move to the kind of textury layer. We're going to move that one as our reference, and then use the layer below that to do the color. And what I'm doing here is I'm using the darkest tone that's over here. And that's what I'm using as like my base layer, my base color on here. Because what that's going to allow me to do is then build up the layers of shine. Also, this is probably a good time to mention that I do not own the art that I'm using as a reference. That is from Wizards of the Coast. I don't know if if it matters, but it is copywritten by them. I am just using it as some source material for inspiration. I do not own the rights to it. Just trying to cover my butt. Okay, so there's kind of this naked spot here, and I'm gonna go back to that texture area, and, ooh, wrong. So this is the one for today, is gonna be wrong brush. How annoying. That looks better there. Wow, I'm kind of flying through this sketch. Part of it is that I already did the croquis before, and that normally takes about 15 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick wrist break. Let's see if this works. It's good to stretch every now and again. You know, you can't be too careful with your wrist, your hands, fingers, everything. It's very, very important to stay limber and loose. Awesome. Okay. So what I'll be doing next is the detail work. So I'm gonna go in and probably try to do a zipper down the front. Also gonna do the highlighting and the texturizing of the lumpy bumps. And, oh, that's one thing that I could do now, actually. And this is number 199 in the Monster Manual from A to Z. Yeah, I'm really liking how this is turning out so far. This is kind of fun. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do some fun with, some texturizing of the pants, because they look a little flat right now, and even if I were to do some shading, I want the texture of the pants to have a little bit more pop and pizzazz. There's a part of me that thinks it'd be interesting to try to do a corduroy texture, or maybe just a woven pant kind of texture. So, like, you know, denim is woven, corduroy is woven, linen is woven. But in the meantime, I am going to add another layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm adding that above the color texture layer, but below the line art texture layer. I'm going to remove the reference from the line art. On the layer above the color, I'm going to make a clipping mask. And what that does is anything that I put on that layer will not extend past the other layer. So now I can come in with my other color and I'm gonna move to a spray paint texture, or maybe a charcoal. let's see what this looks like. So that's a nice texture. It kind of mimics stone. And then I can come in over that with the next color. To create like the highlight, you see. I need to turn off my phone that's next to me or just flip it over because it's doing fun things with the news, and I'd rather not read the news right now. Just, if I could avoid it, that would be great. So I like this proof of concept here with the coloration. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the other blobbies. Yeah. And I guess I'll just move from the top down. And I'm not going to do the cuffs in the same style, because I just don't think that that would feel very comfortable around the wrists. Like, even though this is kind of a fantastical fantasy outfit, I'm not going to go completely off the grid and make it look funky. You know, and make it something that nobody would wear. So right now I'm just kind of going over with a light touch on all of the spots here. And then I'm going to go in and actually hit some of the areas a little bit harder with the same color. And then I'll go in with the highlight. Because it's important to remember that unless the light was hitting right in front of this person, this model, the highlights are going to be on the top of these shapes because they're three-dimensional. Because we can assume that it's a little bit more of a top light rather than a front light. And if I were to photograph this as a fashion photographer, I'd make sure that my lighting was set up in a way that, yes, I do have a flash and some fill lights on the front, but I'd want the harshest of the light coming from, you know, front above, if that makes sense, to really get the texture of these three-dimensional zones. I think I might actually also go down, I love that I said actually. I think what I'll do is also use the same texture for the jacket itself. That way we get cohesion. Like it's the same fabric, we're just doing different things to it. Ugh, I love this. This is, knock on wood, going very well. And also, just as a reminder, we will be rating the Adventures Pack stream tonight, right after this and right before theirs starts. So about, I would say 4:58 my time, Pacific time, which is just about an hour away. I might be able to like take some requests or something. So I'm really highlighting those top two. Just because hypothetically, those would be the ones getting the most intense highlights. All right, see you later, Momming Like Molly. Thanks for coming by as long as you could. And then, hello, Crandall. Welcome, 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 welcome. This is the piece that always sounds like Final Fantasy VII. And I know that it's not, but it takes me right back to playing that game. So you can really see how just highlighting these top portions, like look at that texture, everybody. Look at it. It looks three-dimensional. Ah! Oh my god, I totally forgot that I was on the screen. I'm gonna go back to just the illustrating scene because you don't need to see my hair. Anyways, wow, this is turning out great. So I am going to... Oh, see ya, Adventurers Pack. You gotta go get ready for your tech rehearsal. That's not really what it's called, but have fun, and I will see you guys in about an hour. Okay, so I'm gonna do a clipping mask on this one, and I'm gonna take that tone, and actually, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find a similar color. I'm on the same texture. Okay. And am I on the right layer here? Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that really, really helped. The other thing that I want to do is come in... So there's this kind of... I don't know if you can see this very well. There's this glow here. And I really, really like that effect. So I think I'm actually going to come up underneath some of these spots with just like an airbrush or something. And just like... Oh, what is that? Too much. Basically, I'm creating a shadow with this purple rather than a darker version of that base layer. Because I'm using the source material as inspiration here. I'm just trying to use a light touch with this airbrush, and I'm only going underneath. I'm not going above, because this should mimic a shadow. Wow, that is adding so much depth. And by this not having anything on the puffy bits of the jacket, this is really allowing it to look three-dimensional. Wowie zowie. Honestly, I think this one is going better than the Naga Guardian that we did last Friday. Also, I hope you all know, like, how grateful I am that you would spend some time with me on, like, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's really nice to have this company while I'm doing stuff, you know, that I enjoy. This is, you know, it's more than a hobby for me. This is a career that I'm trying to build, being a fashion designer and cosplay artist and such, but it's one of those things that it's better to do this with friends. It's more fun to do with friends, at least, you know? Look at that jacket. I'm calling the jacket done. Yeah, the jacket itself is done. And then now it's time to do the pants. I need to come in with this this shirt with some shadow. And for that, I am going to use the same color, just a little bit darker. And I'm actually going to do that and then do a clipping mask. Clipping masks are my new favorite thing. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do for the zipper. Let's see, let's put this on. Oh, let's put that on the line art layer. Let's not put that on the line art layer. Let's put that on a layer just below the line art layer. But I don't need a clipping mask. No, no, no. Okay. But that shirt is on that layer. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do is we're gonna add another layer for the shirt collar. And then on my line art layer, the main one, get rid of that. Go back to my zipper layer. I don't know if I love that color, so let's find a different color. I guess I would try to do gold, but the gold will interfere with the eye itself, and I want to do a zipper pull that's also an eye. So let's try to do, I guess it's kind of silvery. Or I could just go with a dark gray. So this is the other thing, that it kind of mimics the teeth. Also, I know this is like a really chonky zipper, but sometimes you have to exaggerate things in art so they're apparent. know I got really quiet there for a second. That kind of work actually just totally puts me in the zone. See, even that detail looks just so good. Okay, so I am going to do a zipper pull, and in order to do that, I need to put that above my line art layer. And I guess I can put that there. And I'm going to use the same color and do that. And do that. Actually, gonna make it a little bit like that. Okay. Add another layer above, actually below that. I'm gonna use this as my reference layer. And I am gonna pull that same bright orange. And in that layer below my reference layer, I'm going to pop that color. I am going to get kind of that color. And I need my airbrush out. Move to a black and go back into inking. Even though that detail is so small in the grand scheme of things, you know, if people do blow this up and look at it closer, you're gonna see that eyeball. Okay. So now we can move on to the pants. The shirt and the jacket are... Oh, the jacket is not done. I just remembered I need to finish the cuffs. And I will put that on this shade layer. And just pop into a airbrush. Make sure that it's a pretty small airbrush. And add a little bit of curvature to that. And same down here. And I don't think I'll be blending any of this out because I'm using textures as opposed to, you know, just flat airbrushes for most of this. And then make sure that I do that up here. Now let's move on to the pants. I'm gonna go ahead and do a new layer. Oh, crud. Undo. And I'm not sure if the clipping mask goes to that one or this one. I also need one above this, and we'll clip mask that. So let's start with the teeth shading. So I've pulled my color here, and I'm just gonna go down, make sure that I'm on my airbrush. increase the size of my airbrush. Nice. Okay, so actually I need to fix some stuff on this line art layer of pants. I don't love this bit right here. That's better. Now, as far as the pants themselves, let me look at what textures I've got here. I know I should have something in kind of the fabric. Oh, maybe it's under painting. Yeah, Salamanca is kind of a... It looks like you're brushing something on canvas. And for that, I'm going to go slightly lighter than that red. Make sure I'm on the right layer. Okay. Boy. No, don't love that texture. Okay, so that one looks a little bit like denim. This one does. And I'm good with using that as like the body of it. And then we can go in with the shader. Oop. Let's darken that. Let's move back to an airbrush. those pants are looking good. I like the teeth. However, I do want to add some texture to them, I believe. They look a little too flat. So I'm gonna come up and do the same thing as I did on this shading layer, is come up here and do a clipping mask. And I'm gonna come up to these teeth and just find that darker tone. And come in, I'm gonna find the dry brush, I believe, would work well. Oh yeah, that looks great. Okay, so now I'm going to go down to the body layer and bring the opacity up all the way. Oops, undo. It's all good. Have a good night, Mom. Thank you for watching. Okay, so it's time. We need to undress him now. You know, let's just. We're in that part of the show. Gosh, I have so many layers. Gonna add a layer, pop it underneath the outline. I think we're going to go with a peachy color because it's just what we're going to do. And also, this layer needs to be my reference layer. Let's be smart about this. Not to mention, there's some gappage somewhere. Yeah, it's always interesting to do a reference from a live model, essentially. I mean, technically they weren't live. It was just Google. But trying to translate certain features in a way that makes sense. Smushing those two layers together since I did the line art on the wrong layer. But this layer is going to still be my reference. Move down. There's that. And use that. For his hair, I'm gonna give him Liberty Spikes. But what that does mean is that I need to put a little bit of texture on his scalp. And I don't really want to airbrush it, but where's my touch-up? I'm gonna do stubble. And I'm gonna go with the bright red. And ooh. I think what I'm gonna do actually though, before I do that, is add a new layer and do a clipping mask. The one thing is I don't want to make him look like a road rash victim. I have a feeling that's kind of what this is looking like, blah blah blah. Stubble, 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 stubble. And then I'm gonna move to my line art layer. And we're giving him Liberty Spikes. So I need to move to my inking. This is so ridiculous. Also, that spike is totally in the wrong spot. This is where perspective can get really tricky, is when you have these forms that just barely, you know, oh, how do I just say this? When they're at an angle, okay. And what color hair are we doing? The bright red, I remember now. And this is still my reference layer, so... Oh, but that's my clipping mask. And I guess one thing that I can do is, using my touch-up brush, is I guess do the short hair, maybe the fine hair. Oh, this is going to be interesting. And I'm going to darken it. No, not stubble. fine here. That one looks weird. Okay. And now I'm going to redress him. Oh, I haven't even done the shoes yet. I'm going to go ahead and do it on the same layer as the shirt. I'm just cleaning up the texture that accidentally got on the shoe. No thank you. Okay. So I'm moving back to an airbrush for this shading. Make it smaller. Then of course do a highlight on the very top of that one. Maybe not that much. You've got to be so gentle with highlights. Okay. Something that I'm not really looking forward to, I don't really want to do anything with that hand. So I'm just going to let them both be behind him. But I do need to do the highlighting, or the shading of the body. Right there. And here. On the fingers. This I might smudge. There we go. And then of course, underneath the jawline is going to be pretty dark. And then fade out as it gets up towards the ear. Smudge. Okay. And of course the ear area. We still need to do some shading along the jaw. And around the nose. And lips. Around the eye sockets. And we're going to smudge all of that up too. Right. I like this. What do we all think? I have no idea who's left here, so yeah, what do we think of this guy? I'm gonna pick, let's see. It's kind of a pale color, but that's fine. How about this color? And I like to do this on every single one of these. Do my backdrop here. And I've noticed they kind of like to do this watercolor. I want to do fresco for the ground, and then pick this one for you can see that? No. All right, that is the Xorn But Make It fashion. Come on. What? I can only have 22 layers on this? That was a lie. Okay, that's fine. I will use this layer then. And go to sketching. Or how about this one? Yep, that's it. That is the Xorn. I think that turned out really, really well. Super fantastically well. And now it's time to choose the next... Ooh, my hair's gotten crazy while I've been doing that. The one for next week, next Friday. And I am going to choose a random number between 1 and 200. Pick a random number between 1 and 200.
It's 6.
All right, so number 6 is going to be what we do next Friday. And number 6 in the Monster Manual from A to Z is the Onkeg. Oh, okay. All right, and that is an aberration, and it can bite. Let's take a look at this thing. I can't get to that internet. Okay, that's fine. All right, so we're going to be doing the Onkeg next week, and we'll have fun with that one too. And who knows? I need to make sure that I write this down. And I'm going to have to watch an episode of The Bestiary, because they've already done that one a while ago. And I can at least look at the art, I can listen to what they're doing. Thank you, Fire Garnet Snake. Yeah, I also think that I did a really good job of capturing the feel of that. And I don't know, I might end it early. I know I was going to raid Adventurers Pack, but they haven't started their stream yet. But we have about 15 minutes till we get there, so I'm not going to waste, you know, just time to try to do that. So if you want to go watch them at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so in about 15 minutes on the Adventurers Pack Twitch channel, we're going to be having fun with the Gauntlet, and it is episode number 6, I believe, tonight. So I'm really excited for that. And I'm going to, you know, get some snacks, get some more water before we do all of that. I'll be in the chat being a moderator, but also I just love chatting with people. And I will see you all in a few minutes. I will also see you next week. Monday is the regular scheduled program at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time of Elements But Make It Fashion. And that will be also on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then next Friday, we'll be right back here at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for D&D But Make It Fashion. And don't forget to give me a follow if you haven't already done that here. And if you're watching the replay over on YouTube, don't forget to do a subscription as well as hitting the like button on this video. So I will see you all later. Stay fun, stay creative, have a wonderful weekend, and I love you all. Thank you so much for watching.